All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. And this video is going to be on these women and going into how wanting a high value man, wanting to share a high value man or a rich man so that he can pay your bills, right? He's not Isaiah 4:1. So all you women can cut the crap, man. Like I just saw a video by one of the brothers, elders, and he had like a bit of a compilation on there of these different women saying that, oh, they're prepared to, that monogamy's stupid and all of this, and a man should be able to have more than one woman and all that, right? And the video is still the spirit of Isaiah 4:1 is still in, like, flowing through the air more, but none of those women were Isaiah 4:1, man. Because when it comes to Isaiah 4:1, right, the women ain't asking for no money. The women ain't going to be asking for no money in return. All these women that are saying all this, oh, a high value man or a rich man should be able to have more than one woman. Mate, you women should have just been doing that now anyway. You women should have been on that now. That's all that is. That's what you women should have just been doing anyway now. Right? You should have been accepting that that's the way how it's supposed to go anyway. That ain't nothing special that you women are doing when you're saying, oh, a man that's rich shouldn't just have to only be with me. Mate, duh. Of course he shouldn't. That's the reason that men being expected to be monogamous in this world is why so many men are miserable, right? And why you women are miserable as well. Because these all have got this delusional way that men are supposed to be in your mind, right? And to the point where you think that you're going to be on some almond patrol, stalking men, and then at the same time as you're monitoring men's actions, right? You're not monitoring your own actions and how you go outside your houses and are trying to absorb and like absorbing all this attention from extra men when you already got a man. How many of you women are considering that when you're thinking about all this stuff that you're monitoring when it comes to men? How many of you are monitoring your own behavior? How many of you women out there have got social media, man? And all them simps that are on there gassing your head up, man, and you don't really like none of them, but you're just waiting for that one day when that one guy comes on there that you do like, right? And that's why you won't delete your social media if your man asks you to. That's the reason why you women are like that, man. All these women trying to fake like they're on some Isaiah 4:1, they're full of shit. Them ain't no Isaiah 4:1 women that I saw. None of them, not one of them was Isaiah 4:1, in my opinion, right? And this ain't called trying to stir up no beef with nobody else either. But all of those women, as far as I'm concerned, were full of shit. They're just looking out towards and trying to be like, oh, I'm down for a man being polygamous now because they rent you. Not because they're really sincere and they care about the days to come, right? They just want some money, right? They've realized that their own money now can't sustain them. So now they're looking outward for some man to pay with the rest. That's what them women are doing. They ain't sincere, right? Now the scriptures does say an unbelieving woman can be saved by a believing husband, but them women ain't even paying attention to like none of them women seem like they were sincere in any way to me, according to anything even close to Isaiah 4:1. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, and this is the reason why those women are starting to try and, oh, a man should be able to be monogamous, and really they don't want to be wives to these guys. They just want to be a side chick that the guy smashes them, right? And then they give him some money for nails and whatever dumb bullshit women be wanting to spend money on, right? Oh, I need my nail. Like, all you women care so much about your nails. Y'all care about your nails. Do you even wash your batty properly, bro? Do you even wash your flaps properly? I ain't even, say so lucky. I ain't even trying to take it too grimy, man. But y'all, is it a sweet smell or is it a stink? Yeah. Well, I see that Jake saying that, Judah saying that, the one that winks, not the one that stinks and all that. Mate, they both stink. It all stinks, man. Yeah, are you really sincere in trying to be a woman of the Lord and all that, or are you trying to be a side chick that gets some rent money paid? Or I go over to Clevi's house and he smash, and then he give me money for rent, girl. Or are you trying to be his wife, where you cook and clean for him, not dealing with no other men, right? Is that what them women was on, or are they on some? I'm gonna deal with multiple men, and he's gonna deal with multiple women as well, and he's gonna give me some money. If you're trying to be on a man's next woman, you can't be doing none of that. Because if you're trying to be a man's first woman, you're not supposed to be gallivanting your eyes up in next geezer's face, man. You got one, man. Deal with it. Yeah, and man, I keep like the Great Millstone Dallas camp. They keep saying, or they say this a lot intermittently, man, or in like intervals and that. Whatever the word you use to say it, man. Periodically they say it, right? Where they go into how like some of these first wives, meaning the women that are the current main woman of some of these men that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, are not making it, man. A lot of them are not gonna make it. They're just there for now. And a lot of them are not going to make it. And I think that makes perfect sense, personally. I think that makes perfect sense that a lot of these women that, like, they're not right, man. And I remember in the latest movie, The Matrix, they kind of flipped it with the genders. But they had the female, and she had a husband, she had children, right? But they were really characters that were designed to keep her in the Matrix, man. I remember that in the latest, newest one. They had she had some family and that, some husband and that, and some children, but they weren't even real. They were just like there to try and keep him in the Matrix, man. And when I seen that way back, I was like, raw, that's kind of deep, you know, because a lot of these whole family structure thing is pretty much a trap for men in general in this world anyway, man. And that's why you got the scripture, as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, rise up, women are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. This is the reason why these women are starting to talk about some monogamy. You women should have, some polygamy and all that. Oh, man can have more than one woman. Y'all should have been on that anyway. You know, the same way y'all march for all this other stuff, you should have been marching for men. Our men should be able to have more than one wife. Burn all that. You should have been marching. If you were some real woman. Don't try and put our men in chains. Our man can, burn all what you're talking about. But nah, y'all just marching some vagina march, some slut march, right? So your Black Lives Matter, BLMs, right? Marching for Esau. I've saw either all them Britons first. Y'all will be prepared to march for anything else, but you won't march for a man being able to have more than one wife. And here's the thing. This is the reason why a lot of women get so-called bored in relations, because if a man, is told, okay, you only have to get one woman. But once he's got the woman, that's it. He's got her. He's got her now. So now what? There ain't no need to expand too much further than that. He's got you already. But if a man's living in a society where he can have more than one woman, well, now when he knows that he's trying to get a next woman, he's going to have to do things and keep himself in a certain way to where he can attract and bring in other women financially, physically, all of that, right? And that's why even in the worldly sense, right, the men that get the most women are the men that are continually doing things to gain in loads of women. But even those guys are only really dealing with hoes anyway. They ain't even those men that get loads of women, they ain't even got the women as wives. They've just got them as like a side chick kind of thing, man. Because even those men that the women say that they want for this society, what this society is a man according to their eyes, they still think that man's only supposed to really deal with them. And they don't really want to have to do the actual necessary things to deal with that guy. And they'll still, even though that guy is, according to the worldly stance, high up, they'll still look in the next man's face. They'll still look in the next man's face, man. Like he might be some, according to this world, higher value man, but then let some guy that will let the electrics go out in the house, and an electrician comes by, and now she's gonna be looking at the electrician like, oh wow, look at the way we twist that copper wire. I love the way how he turned off that power unit. She's gonna do that because women are so fickle. It's disgusting. And watching them trying to fake like they're down for some man having more than one wife, they're full of shit, man. A lot of them are full of shit, right? Them ain't no Isaiah form one women, man. And a lot of them women are will actually be trying to think that they can deal with them men's wives. They'll try and turn it into some weird orgy business, man. A man's got one woman already and gets the next woman, and no one will be looking at that woman like, oh yeah, so what we doing? We're making a free thing. That's how a lot of these demon women are, man. Them weren't no Isaiah 4:1 women, in my opinion, man. They were so full of shit, right? Isaiah, well, I'm going to get to it anyway in this lesson. Verse 11, tremble you women at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, right? They shall lament for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruit of wine. And because these men are longing for when they used to be able to just spin up, right? Spin up themselves, just go out here, go out there, or you want to drink, darling, and all that, mate, fun all that. Now that they're starting to realize that men have figured their whole ways out because they make it like these men are so dumb, right? That they've literally put out their whole thoughts on like every single category of how they think they're supposed to deal with men, all on the internet, right? They've put it all out on the internet on how they think they're supposed to deal with men, right? And how they won't accept this and then they wonder why the men are treating them bad in real life because they've saw your videos, idiot. They've saw your videos and they've saw that you think in your mind, right? You think in your mind that you don't have to do anything for a man. But men, we don't think that we don't have to do anything for a woman. A man will normally do the best of his ability with what he has for a woman. Women don't do that for men. If a man has money saved up, he's saving it up normally in a relationship for his woman. If a woman starts doing that, she's starting to think how she can get away from the guy. If a man gets a promotion, he's thinking, man, I can use this money for my family now. If a woman gets that, she's thinking how she can leave the guy. If a man's making 250,000, he's now thinking, damn, I can look after my woman now, or I can get a woman that a woman that I like now. All I need to add to all of this wealth that I've made now is a woman that I like, and then we're gonna expand and grow as a family. A woman, when she's doing it, she's thinking, okay, I need a man that makes 250,000 at minimum or more, because he ain't gonna be getting none of my money. That's how women think, and that's why you women will never be equal to a man. You'll never be equal to a man because you're always still expecting a man better than you. The better you get in a worldly sense, the better you expect a man to get in a worldly sense, and you'll never be equal to a man. Never in your life. And that's why all these women are losing their mind, because LeBron James said, oh, as a 40-year-old man, he wouldn't want to come home and see a stay-at-home wife. He wouldn't want no stay-at-home wife because they're scared that other men that are that age are going to look at it and be like, yeah, I don't want no stay-at-home wife neither. And then that gets rid of their plan to just try and use men for their money and make him some basic meals, right? Some basic meals that don't take any effort, right? Not have to really care about the effort that they're putting into the food. Make him some dead meals. And then he's paying for every single thing in their life and they're able to flirt here, flirt there with the next man and all this. You know how many of these so-called rich men having in this world will be getting adultery committed on them by their woman, by their male personal trainer, right? That's one out there that you got to watch out for in this world. That male personal trainer, man, right? All those guys in the gym, the flipping handyman, even the hoes. And that's why when I was watching that, when those women trying to talk like they're down for monogamy, it was making me sick to my stomach, because really all they was saying is they want some man to pay their thing. They ain't prepared to really be none of these women really prepared to be no proper second wife, man. No third wife. Not really, man. Not really in this society, man, because it's too easy for them to just turn away from that and be a demon. Now, let's go to Isaiah 4:1 and let's see if those women met that standard, because they was talking about a man's money and all that, a high value. Well, if they were really Isaiah 4:1 women, a man's status in the world doesn't mean anything, because they're going to be paying it for themselves anyway. They're going to be paying their own. Isaiah 4:1, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we'll eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take our approach. So what's a Isaiah 4:1 woman? Let's say a woman makes 100,000 a year, right? That seems to be the number that gets all these people crazy under the collar these days, 100,000. So let's say a woman makes 100,000, right? A real true Isaiah 4:1 woman is not going to be like, well, I make 100,000, so the man needs to make that. She's going to have her own money and take care of her own self and not be looking at that man for nothing. And now let's say that the man that she was going for he's got 100,000 and she's only got 30 a year, right? A true Isaiah Form 1 woman would not be thinking, well, he's got 100,000, that's 70,000 more than me. That's 3 times and a bit more than me, right? So he should be helping me out. No, she's going to be worrying about just using her own money to take care of herself, to not be no financial burden on that guy. True Isaiah Form 1 women will not be a financial burden on the men that they're going for, man. So they ain't no Isaiah Form 1 women. The Isaiah Form 1 woman has not even truly been seen yet, man. Right? Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 26, thy men shall fall by the sword. Are people really falling by the sword like that yet? Not even. There's wars going, there's a couple of wars going on, but people ain't really even falling by the sword like that yet, man. And I'm mighty in the war. That ain't really happening right yet. And her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Have we seen any women being desolate and sitting upon the ground yet? Being so completely distressed that they're like, man, we're fruit. We ain't seen that yet. So the true Isaiah 4:1 from women has not like yet even been seen, really, man. Now, them trying to get in early and all that and trying to like humble themselves, I guess that's okay. And should a woman try and be with a man that can't take care of her? No, that wouldn't really make any sense, right? But you women should have understood that you're supposed to be that you can be with the same man now. You think you're so smart and think you know all this other stuff. Eve thinks she's so smart, or we're the main ones to have degrees. Well, use your degrees and your fake IQ stuff and that you think you got. Use all of that knowledge that you think you got, yeah, to figure out that a man can have more than one woman. Don't only be like, oh, well, yeah, a man can have more than one woman as long as the economy's messed up. But when the economy goes back nice, then nah, man can't have more than one woman. Nah. You ain't allowed to do that, man. I'm gonna end the video there. Shalom.